So that, of course, means that 4 of our 5 finals have been completed. One more quarter-final to come. And as with the last match, we've got defending champions. And as far as the home fans are concerned, they'll be very much hoping it's not the same sort of result, because the defending champions are Mathias Boe and Carsten Mogensen in the men's doubles. They're the number 3 seeds this year. They're up against the Koreans of Woo and Kwon.
Please give a warm welcome to the players on court number 1. From Korea, Woo and Kwon. Their opponents, world number 3 from Denmark, Mathias Boe and Carsten Mogensen.
So the Danes come defending champions, Mathias Boe and Carsten Mogensen. There's Carsten Mogensen. Mathias Boe is the left-hander. So Mathias Boe now. And the Koreans, relative Woo, 23, Kwon, 24. And of course, as far as the Danes are concerned, they are former world number 1s. Of course, the seeded combination. There they are, current All England champions. Mathias Boe and Carsten Mogensen. 24 and 10. Their win-loss record for the year, and that translates into 2 titles. The Super Series, which they won, beating Korean opponents in the final, and the Championships, beaten finalists in Korea. So 3 finals they've been in this year, and no real trouble on their part. Quarter-final. First round match against a pair from Thailand who were promoted from the qualifying event after the withdrawal of a pair in the main draw. And then the Japanese combination of Indo and Hawakawa. Their opponents, Woo and Kwon. Well, they've had a sensational tournament so far. Out in a minute as we look at their win-loss record for the year. We'll rank number 16 pair. And that translates into the best result so far was a semi-final in the Malaysian Grand Prix Gold event. But their first round match here in Denmark disposed of another pair that's been world number 1s. Number 5 seeds here, though. Koo Kiat and Tan Boon Hyung. 3 tough games there. And then again yesterday against the very good Japanese pair of Hashimoto and Hirata. So they've been a lot longer than the Danes. But I suppose Cho Gun-woo first came to everybody's attention when he won the World Junior Championships playing with Lee Yong-dae. So our umpire from Latvia, Japan. All the Danes are trying to make it through to the final of the Denmark Open for the third consecutive year, because two were beaten finalists. Last year, of course, they won the title as the #1 seeds. Interesting, Ian, that Mathias Boe actually reached the final of this Danish Open back in 2006, playing with Joachim Fischer-Nielsen, who now, of course, just concentrates on his mixed doubles. But the reason that that happened was because Carsten Mogensen had to undergo 2 ankle surgeries, was out for an awfully long time. Very frustrating for him. He's talked to me at length about that frustrating time.
On my right, Kwon Cho Gun-woo, Korea. And on my left, Carsten Mogensen, Mathias Boe, Denmark. Mathias Boe to serve to Kwon Yi-go. Love all. Play.
So the defending champions from Denmark, Mathias Boe and Carsten Mogensen. Well, Ian, we were talking in the first men's doubles that we witnessed with Kai Yun and Fu Haifeng, who, like the Danes, left and right-handed combination, how they very much have a favoured formation. I think that's true of this Danish pair, isn't it? Because Mathias Boe loves to be the player at the front of the court, the net player, trying to intercept and dominate from the front. Whereas I think the Koreans are far more flexible in their formation, both equally happy from the back or coming forward.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. I think the Danes, certainly Mathias Boe's the front court player. Having said that, Mogensen is a very good player. He's equally comfortable in the front and the rear court, although in this combination he tends to take more responsibility in the rear court with Mathias's strength in the forecourt. The Korean pair are an interesting pair. They play with very, very good intensity, and they're a pair that are improving quite rapidly this year. And you see both of them very comfortable in that front court position, particularly with pace on the shuttle. They like the flat exchanges, they like tempo in the game, and it wouldn't surprise me to see the Danes trying to step in and just concentrate on angle rather than pace to try and control this young pair.
As the Koreans formed their partnership last year, for the first year together to reach the final of a Super Series event, the Indonesian Super Series. As qualifiers, they reached the final, as indeed they reached the final of the Chinese Taipei Grand Prix Gold.
5-1.
So you're right in saying that pair and improving all the time. And like all the Korean men's doubles pairings, they're physically very strong.
Yes, they are. It'll be interesting because obviously the Korean coaches will be used to playing against Boe Mogensen with their 2 other pairs. It'll be interesting how they've prepared their younger pair to play against this very experienced now Danish pair.
I
think we'll see a lot of short rallies in this game, actually. Both pairs are very serve return. Both pairs like to try and pick up easy points in that area.
Yeah, we saw a lot of short rallies in the first of our men's doubles as well, didn't we?
Yeah. It was more due to, I think, to the deficiency of the Malaysian pair and the fact they were too willing to lift the shuttle to the Chinese pair. I think this will be a different affair altogether. I think there'll be a real fight for the attack here. Exchanges.
Well, the Koreans slightly fortunate there because Mathias Boe had said that the serve had landed short of that front service line.
Good rally.
Serves over. 6.
Well, these two pairs each other once previously. That was in the last 16 of the China Masters. And it was 2 straight games to the Danes. 21-15, 26-24. So it was a hard battle.
Interesting in the first few points. Mathias already held them on return of serve, putting his hand up a couple of times on service, taking a long time on over service. Trying to take the edge maybe off, trying to break the rhythm a little bit against their younger, more sort of speedy opponent.
I have to say the Danes are known for that, aren't they? Taking their time and not getting ready. Times I've seen umpires warning them for taking too long in between rallies.
Yeah, particularly Mathias, when he's got the shuttle, he likes to take his time on. Likes to choose his moment, try and break the rhythm of his opponents. And we're seeing already when there is rhythm in the points, the Koreans are very push, return, lift, pace on immediately. No hesitation. Good return.
Serves over. 8-6.
Long wait. Good serve.
It's very good placement of that smash from Carsten Mogensen.
Yeah, we're not going to see Carsten Mogensen smashing the chain at the same pace as we've seen Fu or Zhu Chen. But he's very effective from the rear court. He places the shuttle very well, gets a good angle and mixes his pace very well. Breaks the defence with rather than pure power.
7-9.
Disappointed there. They worked hard in defence to create the opportunity to attack. Danes all over the early part and then a good block from the Koreans. They'll be really disappointed there. Shuttle above net height.
Well, trying to intercept but to no avail, and it means that the defending champions have a 4-point advantage in the game interval.
vigtigt, at bagmanden han træder lidt længere frem, ligesom du gør her. At du træder ind i den. Ikke? For det er det der med, ellers så kommer vi bare til at skal hæve på den hver eneste gang. Ikke? Stadigvæk husk på det der, når vi løfter til dem, så må det gerne være sådan, at de skal bevæges. At det ikke bare kan stå dernede og så springe lige op i den. Så stadigvæk spille løftene lidt ud mod siden. De behøver ikke ligge pisse godt, men de skal bare flyttes lidt dernede. Så kan de stå på den næste. Ikke? Og så stadigvæk de ryg fra nettet af. Stop af. Ikke? Kom så langt.
Well, Klaus Poulsen in charge of coaching this pair.
Yeah, I think he's talking there about when they are on defence, not to play flat defence, not to hit the shuttle upwards in a flat sense. If they're going to lift high to the corners, just to give themselves time to get into a good aggressive defensive formation. There we see it, higher lift rather than the flat lift. That creates the space for the counter-attack. Yeah, good rally.
Very, very well worked by the Danes.
A nice change of pace from Mogensen in the rear court. Getting the block from the forecourt and then hitting the smash off defence. Inside the defence. Good play.
Oh,
that's a good shot. Yeah.
Koreans don't. Oh, the Koreans going to the ump. Oh, that was plumb on the line, wasn't it?
Yeah, good call. Side of the line, but line all the same. Good awareness from Carsten in the forecourt there, though. Sense the Koreans trying to move in to counter any possible block and just flicked off to the rear court.
Serves over. 8-13.
No, it's good.
Well worked again by the Danish pair, though. Good variety.
14-8.
Working Boe into the front court. Lots of shuttles coming up in forehand side, and that's because of the good placement from his partner in the rear court. Creating a lot of opportunities for Boe to use that left. Keep the pressure on his Korean opponents. Yeah, not so comfortable with the pace off, are they, the Korean players? Noticeable there, the Danes just playing block, not giving pace for the Koreans to feed on. Very good tactically here, we see it, little pushes. The Koreans not so comfortable with that. You see with pace on, they look a different pair.
Koreans look a bit bewildered at the moment, don't they?
Yeah, they're being outthought, outplayed tactically at the moment. They want to put pace on, and the Danes are not giving them opportunities.
Oh, service. Racket not facing in a downward direction.
Yeah, not the first time we've seen that this year. And Boe being faulted with the flick serve, tends to just lift his hand a little bit there. See him just lifting the hand before he strikes the shuttle.
Lock of the net cord.
Well worked again though. Mathias taking the shuttle down that left-hand wing. That means that Carsten's able to rotate out on his forehand side. Nice combination, nice understanding. Yeah, they're attacking with very good angle again, creating the lift.
18-9.
Pace off. Nice combination and nice variety. They're keeping the Korean pair off balance, aren't they?
Oh, lovely. Oh, it was mishit. Defence there.
Yeah, a little bit lucky there. Good block.
Play.
His shuttle really is so clever.
19-10.
Yeah, again, it's not the pace, is it? It's the angle, it's the direction.
Saw that his opponent was committed to the forehand defence, therefore hit down his backhand side.
And that's the change of pace. Played one or two blocks. The Korean just starting to move in and maybe anticipating pace off, and then he just catches him off guard. Good variety again.
10 opportunities now to take this opening game for the defending champions.
Serves over. 20.
Error on the serve. And it means 3 seeds take the opening game on the third game point opportunity. (21-12) the scoreline. Just 16 minutes of play.
De holder lige helt nu her, specielt når de eller modtager fra lige side. Er I med? Så prøv bare lige at serve den og så rykke. Så er det vigtigt nu her, at stadigvæk gør det, så vil de komme til at modtage hen over hovedet på os igen. Så skal bagmanden, så skal han træde langt frem, så vi kan stadigvæk få spille dumpeboldene. Vi ikke venter på, at den kommer ned til os. Ja. Ikke? Og så synes jeg synes stadigvæk, det er vigtigt, det der med, når vi kommer frem, så skal I beholde disciplinen. I må ikke begynde at trykke nu her. Vi skal holde den disciplin. Er I med på nettet? Stop nu af. Det eneste er, når vi selv har modtaget, der har de ikke løftet en over os endnu, medmindre vi lægger dem ud på halvdistancerne, så kan de godt løfte højt på dem. Så arbejder vi bare og bygger op. Men ellers, hvis vi modtager sådan lidt ind over hovedet, eller vi trykker lidt mod hjørnerne, så stopper de bare den næste. Og den skal vi højt på.
Jeg tror også, det bliver klasse, altså opad, ikke?
Jo, lidt. Ja, præcis. Og der er også plads til en helt kort, hvis der er. Ja, kom så. Hold bevægelse på, og vi skal stadig have svipperne med, ikke også? Kom så, dig.
Well, Klaus Poulsen, the Danish coach, as passionate as ever when he's talking to his players.
Yeah, just reinforcing the first game really and telling them to keep their discipline. Just saying if they're going to lift out high, give yourselves time to get into position. When you get in, just take the pace off at the start of the rally. Don't give them anything to feed on. Pace off early on. If you lift high like that, and then just try and that's a good example. Just not to give them anything flat, fast to feed on.
That's wide. Well, he was called for a fault in his opening game, Mathias Boe, for racket head not pointing in a downward direction. I have to say, that last serve, he looked to me as if he was coming very high above the waist.
Yes, his limit, always on the limit, Mathias.
That's a great angle again.
Yeah, again, they're just controlling, they're taking the pace off, forcing the Koreans to lift, and then, even then, not putting a lot of pace on. It's all about angle. And that's great placement in between the two defenders. Yeah, same again. Koreans a little bit lost tactically on serve and return here, don't know where to go.
Yeah, there was a cross-court shot that really changed the momentum of that rally in favour of the Koreans. That's the one.
That's good, and when they get the attack, they're very good. They've got a good combination, good understanding on attack, but I say they thrive on. And at the moment, the Danes are doing very well not to give them any rhythm, not to give them that pace. Yeah, that's a good return. Strong legs, driving forward quickly, but then control with the racket. Rolling the shuttle over the net. Good leg drive, takes it early. The tape. And gets the assistance. Yeah, same again, very good.
Is he aiming for the tape?
Yes, absolutely. They'll be practicing that net roll on return of serve. Well, he'll be disappointed with himself there. Korean's pushing it up to his side, his favoured left-hand wing here, and he's missed it.
Serves over. 7-2.
Yeah, there's the high lift in the solid defensive stance that you were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good play. What the high lift does as well is it puts space in between your two opponents and it creates space for the counter-attack. Yeah, that's not the Koreans' game, is it? They're not comfortable with that block push game from mid-court. Here we see pace off from the rear court. They're looking for the block. It's not happening for them. It's not the game. The Danes doing very well to force the Koreans to play a game that they're not used to and not confident with.
Oh.
Again, be disappointed there as well. Again, we saw high lift to one side, then good width to the other side. We'll see this width here, and then the block defense because there's the space. Took his eye off it, I think.
Yeah, perhaps a little surprised there was such a huge gap to hit into.
Yeah, just think. Well, that's two big errors, I have to say. Korean's not comfortable with no pace on the return of serve, hitting the shuttle up. Easy opportunity. Again.
Serves over. 9-4.
Oh, it's just long.
Serves over. 5-9.
Just sense that the Danes have lost their intensity. 3 or 4 rallies.
Well, that is the danger of playing a soft game. Sometimes you can get too soft. When you're playing a soft game, you've got to keep legs, control with the racket. And the danger is because you play soft so many times with the racket, that your movement gets a little bit soft as well, and you start letting the shuttle come to you to play slowly, and the pace goes out, the physical pace goes out.
And this is perhaps part of the instruction from Klaus Poulsen about keeping discipline.
Again, the block. And then the change from the rear, pace off from the front court. Nice combination play again.
There's an even bigger advantage. Let me get the second game.
Få succes med det. Så det vigtigt, at vi lige tænker på, at det kan godt være, at de stiller sig lidt længere tilbage i defen nu her. Okay? Så når vi får løftet igen, så skal vi stadig have lige til at starte med. Så kan vi åbne op igen, hvis det er. Jeg synes, vi skal blive ved med at huske på, at vi skal løbe. De afgiver ikke i de første 4 bolde nu her. De prøver at spille den der fedtbold for at få løftet. Så det er vigtigt, at vi bliver ved at søge fremad. Okay? De 2, I spiller i hegnet, I er der jo. Men det er bare, vi står lige lidt for... Ja, lidt stille nok. Bliv nu ved med at søge frem, at de kommer ikke til at afgive til os. Er I med? Kom så. Frem og luk den forband. Stadig svipperen med.
Klaus Poulsen urging them to keep going with what the Danes call the stick shot, the steep angle.
Yeah, there it was interesting. You were saying when you do play the high lift, be aggressive in your stance and look to be moving forward in defence. I think he senses the same thing, that they've just gone a little bit passive at certain moments there.
It's clever. Oh my goodness! I don't believe it. And he's hit it wide. How on earth did the Koreans get themselves out of trouble there? There was 2 shots played when they were down on the floor.
We're going to see it here. You can't fault them for effort. They're fighting. Yeah, good return. Good understanding as well. Carsten playing
12-6.
middle, and you'd normally expect him to stay behind that, but he knows Mathias is going to rotate in on that left-hand side. That's a real combination play. Yeah, and there's the variety. For once, just putting pace on, and the Koreans not ready. Racket not in a good position. Nice mix of pace, nice variety in the game.
Serves over. 7-13.
Koreans need to start closing the gap, though.
On that mid-court, he loves that. Shuttle coming to him on the mid-court. Quick reactions, good pace. Here we'll see it, bang, steps in. Loves to put pace on from there.
Yeah, suddenly the power of play from
14-8.
Yeah, good return, gets the shuttle below net height. Koreans hit up. Mixing the pace up again. A bit more pace this time, breaking the defence.
Well, as we were watching that replay, quite extraordinary, because on the adjoining court, they didn't stop their rally, and the Korean pair went and grabbed their shuttle. Mates were playing a rally on the next door court. Don't think I've ever seen that before, Ian.
That was very strange.
Well, that he too very sharp at the front of the court.
He's a good all-round player, sees the shuttle early. Way to be aggressive on that front court.
Serves over. 9-17.
Oh, Danish coach is so relaxed, they too having a little look towards that adjoining court. Left is long.
10-17.
Yeah, and we see Mathias just tempted wing flat, tempted him to put in pace on, and that's really not the game against the Koreans. You can see as soon as there is a bit of pace in the rally, they look a different pair. Just one or two mistakes from the Danes.
Guilty perhaps of thinking that's job already done.
Yeah, they just look to they've just relaxed a little bit. It's a good return. Again, that net roll return. it's the high lift to the rear court and then stepping up on defence. See it here high. And then the flat defence behind, flat push defence.
Mogensen looking a little frustrated.
Yes, his pair have been a little bit outthought in this game, you'd have to say. A very good controlled display of the Danes so far. Really tactically taking the initiative in almost every rally.
Service fault called, struck above the waist, this time called on Carsten Mogensen.
We'll see his hand go up there, we see it.
Yeah.
Just before striking, the shuttle raises the hand, takes it above the waist.
14.
It's a good serve.
Again, net roll return.
Well,
just lost concentration, haven't they? It was a good return, and then they couldn't take the initiative behind it. That's not a good shot from Carsten in the front court. Too flat, gives the Korean opportunity.
At one stage, now only 3 points the deficit. There's a real belief back in the Koreans because now only 2 points the deficit.
Yeah, the Danes are still returning well. Again, it was a net roll return, but they're just not very aggressive behind it at the moment, very passive.
Koreans have won 8 of the last 9 points. 9 of last 10.
18.
Lost the way here again. We see it's a net roll return. Koreans find space. Lift short.
It's amazing, Ferry, because both you and I picked up on that they had just relaxed a little too much. They've gone off the boil.
Yeah, they're still using the high lift, but they're very passive behind it. You saw Klaus Poulsen there saying forward, you know, be aggressive in defence. That's better.
Well, the crowd here really trying to get behind the home players.
19-17. Play. Serves over. 18.
Too late, really. Needs to be quicker with the legs if you're going to take the pace off. Once you turn and you're taking the shuttle late, then the other players will be coming forward, as the Korean boy was there. Good awareness.
Welcome on support number 2 from Japan, Shintaro Ikeda and Reiko Shota. Our opponents for tonight, from Korea, Lee Yong-tae and Ma Jung-un. Umpire, Jung Tae-gu, Spanish touch.
It was such an important rally, wasn't it?
Yeah, they needed that one.
Me.
Yeah, just pace off, block to middle. That creates the time to get behind the shuttle. And again, a very well placed smash.
And more importantly, it creates 2 match point opportunities. Good flick serve, that's short. Yeah. Through to the semi-final. The defending champions, Mathias Boe and Carsten Mogensen. Well, my goodness, they had a fight in that second game. 17-8 up at one stage, but regained their composure just in time.
21-12, 21-18.
Umpire confirming the 21-18 scoreline. And relief as much as anything, I think, for both players and the fans here in Odense. 38 minutes, made hard work. That second game having looked at one stage to be cruising. Well, you can see from that court number 3 play has been concluded. Well, that includes the men's doubles. We know all the semi-final berths. And, in fact, 4 different nations represented in the semi-finals. And that always makes it very interesting indeed. So the number 1 seeds, Kai and Fu, will be the defending champions, Boe and Mogensen, tomorrow. And the Olympic champions, Kido and Setiawan from Indonesia, will be up against seeds Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae. So some terrific matches to look forward to in that men's doubles. There will be throughout the day tomorrow, because of course that concludes our quarterfinal action for today, which all started with men's singles and a very impressive performance by the world number 1 Lee Chong-wei of Malaysia. He's already won this title once, that 2005 straight game victory over the former world champion Chen Jin of China. 21-19. His movement absolutely superb in that. And then what a treat we had in the women's singles. 17-year-old from Taipei against 16-year-old Intanon Ratchanok from Thailand. And it was the younger of the 2 players who triumphed today, and both Ian Wright and myself so impressed by these 2 youngsters. But Ratchanok coming through in 2 straight games, 21-11, 21-13 in 33 minutes. Then it was the first of our men's doubles and the 4 champions, the world number 1s, Kai Yun and Fu Haifeng. Never won this Danish title, but they're on with a good win over the qualifiers from Malaysia, Hun Tien Hao and Tan Wee Kiong. I have to say, just in all departments really today, the Chinese pair, 21-11, 21-11 in just 25 minutes. Then it was mixed doubles, the departure of the defending champions from Denmark, Thomas Laborn and Camilla Ruta-Yule, up against the All England current world number 2s, Zhu Chen and Ma Jin. And Ma Jin absolutely superb today, controlling the game from the front of the court, and her partner, well, he just pounced onto everything and in fact hit the fastest smash so far at 281 in that mixed doubles quarterfinal. And then, of course, as we've just seen, the defending champions in the men's doubles, Carsten Mogensen, the Danes, surviving a little bit of a scare in that second game because they looked as if they were cruising. First 21-12, they were 17-8 up in the second game, but made heavy work of it before winning through 21-18 in the second game. In that, Koreans so physically strong, but in all honesty, the Danes outthinking today. Tactically so astute. 38 minutes it was for that victory. 21-18. So as I say, that concludes our quarter-final action for the days. As you can see, the matches in progress, but we of course will be back with semi-finals tomorrow. That's 1200 local time. That's 10 GMT. Very much hope you'll be able to join us tomorrow, but in the meantime, from all of us here, from Ian Wright and myself, Jill Clark, hope to see you tomorrow. Bye for